Happy Sunday, guys. Today's workout is a 2-round workout of intervals of Tabata. So Tabata is 4 minutes of work where you're doing 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. And you're doing 8 rounds within each 4-minute interval. So 4 minutes for that Tabata Air Squat, then 4 minutes for the push-ups, sit-ups, gorilla rows, sit-ups again, and then push-ups. So it's kind of like a pyramid scheme here, guys, of the design of the workout itself. You'll be going up towards the gorilla rows and then back down to those air squats at the end of each round. Goal of this workout, guys, is to get as many reps as possible. And since it's muscle endurance, guys, we're not trying to pace it as much. We're trying to get to that fatigue area or that burnout range with those movements, guys. As long as you're keeping the good form, then you guys can do that. If you're not sure, keep your intensity a little bit lower to make sure you're keeping good technique throughout the workout. And again, scale is necessary for the air squats. Squat to a chair, push-ups, you can go off of your knees. Sit-ups, if you need to, you can have some assistance to kind of pull yourself up. Gorilla rows, if you don't have 2 objects, use just 1 object, and bent over rows for today. After this workout, guys, we have a quick little accessory work for you. After this, we're going to be doing 3 unbroken sets of 30 to either 60 seconds of a hollow hold. We've done this one in the past, so see what you're comfortable with, and maybe you can push yourself a little bit more. If you're used to 30 seconds, try going 40 seconds of broken this time. And then you're gonna go 20 and 20 single arm ground to overhead, and you try and do those unbroken each time. 3 sets here, guys, of unbroken movements. This is a good one to really work on that core. And again, you're getting a little bit of a second workout here after this first one. Hope you guys enjoyed today's workout, and Afterburner, we'll see you guys next for the warm-up video.
Okay guys, for today's warm-up, we are doing 2 rounds of 50 running skips. If you don't have a skipping rope, you can just jog on the spot for 50 steps. Or if you want, you can do 25 jumping jacks. After you're done that, you're gonna go for 5 single-legged deadlifts on one side and then 5 on the other. For the single-legged deadlift, the goal here is to just extend that back leg so you can feel your glute squeeze, you can squeeze your butt, and then you're just gonna lean forward, trying to raise the heel up as the shoulders come down. So I'm trying to keep my body in a nice lever position. So I don't wanna bend my back knee or keep my leg low. I wanna try to move as a lever all the way down and then all the way back up again. This will be a balance test. If you're a little wobbly, kind of fall out of it, that's totally fine. That's a part of what we're working on. So if you kind of fall out of it, just recatch yourself, get your balance, and then get on to that next rep. Once you're done that, you're gonna go for 50 more running skips. Once you're done that, you're gonna get into some bent over rows. So 5 on one side, 5 on the other. So with that object in your hand, we're just gonna fold forward. Notice how my back is staying flat, head and neck are neutral. And I'm gonna think about leaning back with my elbow and then up, and I'm gonna squeeze that muscle in between that shoulder blade until I'm done 5 reps on one side, and then I'm gonna switch to the other. Notice that my elbow is staying nice and close to my body. I'm not looking forward and putting stress on my neck. I'm just trying to keep that spine lengthened. So you're gonna do 2 rounds of that. Once you're done that, you're gonna go for 2 more rounds. The first movement we're gonna go over is the staggered push-up. So normally in a push-up, your hands are about slightly outside the shoulder width. For this one, we're gonna keep our hands in the same spot, but we're gonna go up and out a little bit with one hand, down and back a little bit with the opposite hand. So we're still thinking about keeping that perfect plank position, and then we're just gonna move one hand forward and out, one hand back and out, and same rules apply in that push-up. If you guys need to go off your knees, you totally can do that as well. Once you're done 5 one way, you're gonna bring the other hand up, opposite hand down, core nice and tight, all the way down, all the way up again. Play around with it as you go here, guys. You can get your hands a little bit further and wider apart as you go. Make it a little more challenging. It's supposed to feel a little bit awkward as you go, so just work with the distancing of your hands. Once you're done 5 one way, 5 the other way, you're gonna go for 25 double unders. If you don't have a skipping rope, you can do the double tap hops. Or if you want to, you can still go for those 25 jumping jacks. Once you're done those, we are now going into a staggered squat. So normally in our squat position, feet are slightly outside the width of the hips. Obviously, normally the feet would be in line. For this one, my one foot's gonna come forward and slightly out, the other one's gonna go back and slightly out, and we're just gonna come down into that squat as we would 5 times on one side, and then we're gonna go back to neutral, reset our body, switch to the other side, and we're gonna go back into that staggered squat on the other side. Enjoy the warm-up, guys. It's 2 rounds of both of those. We'll see you next in the workout.
Going into those air squats next. So air squats here, guys. Big thing, keep that chest tall. I like to kind of keep my hands out in front of me so that when I'm getting tired, I'm not looking down as I'm squatting. So I know some of you, when you get tired, hands kind of flop to the sides or in front of you and you're looking down. Try to keep those hands up a little bit taller and look straight ahead to keep that chest tall, and also to allow you to keep your weight more distributed towards that mid-foot and the heel. So again, as opposed to doing this, guys, we're trying to keep our hands up and try to stay on that mid-foot to heel more as we're coming down in our squat and coming up from our squat. With the push-ups here, guys, again, let's try and keep that nice tight hollow body, stay nice and straight the entire time. So with that said, let's not sag those hips, keep that butt tight, and then we're curling in that rib cage, keeping the abs tight. For the push-up here, I like to keep those elbow pits, or the inside elbow pits facing out in front of me. So I don't want them to face inwards. I like to keep them facing out in front, so that when I break at the elbows, I'm keeping my elbows already nice and tight to my body. So that's a good cue for yourself, especially also when you're coming up. You want to think about pointing those elbow pits back out again. So you guys can do your push-ups off those toes. You guys can do a push-up where you come down and then rock back up from the knees, then to the toes. It's kind of like a kipping push-up there. That's totally fine, as long as you're keeping that core nice and tight. Last thing, you can also try going off those knees. Just one error I see sometimes with these knee push-ups, guys, is that we keep our hips bent and then come down and push up like this. I want you to keep yourself nice and straight. So from your knees to your shoulders should be one straight line, come all the way down, and then back up again. Last movement, sit-ups. Again, guys, if you have an ab mat, great, you can use one, or if you want to roll up a sweater or a t-shirt to use as an object underneath your lower lumbar, this will allow you to open up that range of motion a little bit more in your sit-up. So again, with those sit-ups, guys, what I want to see, all the way back, chest, or the shoulders touch the floor, hands can touch the floor on the way up. Remember, those shoulders should at least make it to the hip crease. So if you imagine a hip line with that hip crease going straight up, they should be in the same line as that shoulder on the way up. I don't want you guys to be back here finishing your sit-up. I want you to be all the way through with your back and chest up nice and tall. So again, one more rep here. Coming up really tall, passing that hip plane. Alright, we're here for the Afterburner. 3 unbroken sets of 30 to 60 seconds of the hollow hold, and then 20 and 20 single arm ground to overhead. So good little superset here, guys. We're gonna go we're gonna start talking about those hollow holds first. So as mentioned, there's plenty of options you guys can use today instead of going for that full position or progressions that you can get up there. So I like to start off from that seated position, legs straight out. I'm going to think about first pulling in my rib cage so I can feel that my abs are getting tight. Then squeeze my legs together, and then keeping that tension, I'm going to rock back until I'm kind of just resting on that lower back, the top of my butt area. Once I'm there, that's my hollow position. So my rib cage is in, my feet are off the ground, in a nice kind of curved position here. From here, you guys can keep your arms by your sides. If you find it difficult with your legs straight, you can also bend your knees in, but make sure you're not losing that tension in your trunk, so pull that rib cage in. If you are comfortable, legs straight, you can stay here and then start getting your hands overhead. Just make sure, guys, you're really trying to make kind of like a banana shape with your body and keep it even throughout. Make sure there's no bends in the knees or bends in that back. You want to keep it nice and smooth throughout. 30, 60 seconds, guys. Challenge yourself here. If you find that 60 seconds is challenging, today is the day to try to attack that weakness. So see if you can do all 3 sets unbroken. It's okay if you break, as long as you're trying to push towards that goal of trying to get it unbroken. 30 to 60 seconds. Once you're done that, guys, we're going to go into that ground to overhead, 20 per side. So this is more of a breathing, and also I'd say for the grip, depending on what weight you use today, or even what object you use. So I'm going to use a dumbbell today. One thing that I would first think about, since it's a grip style movement, try to get that hook grip in. So for that hook grip, guys, if you have a dumbbell, this would be great to use for it. It might be a little bit harder with a kettlebell, so see what you can do. If you have another object that has the same diameter, you can try this. But hook grip, guys, helps you maintain control of that weight without it moving around too much in your hand. If it moves around, it's going to make that grip a lot harder. So see if you can combat that with your hook grip. So hook grip, guys, thumb is going to go kind of perpendicular to your body, or to your hand, I mean. And then you're going to wrap those 2 fingers over top of that thumb. If you have the mobility, you can go more. Usually it's 2 fingers or that 1 finger. This will help it from not rolling away from your hand and hold on to that kettlebell better, or that dumbbell better. So from here, guys, round to overhead, you guys can snatch or you can do clean and jerk. I'm going to go over the clean and jerk variation. So start from the floor here, chest up nice and tall. We're going to clean that weight up to that shoulder height. Elbows going to be up, hips are going to be back. From here, you can stand it up and then dip and drive that weight up. So notice I did a jerk there. You guys can do a push press as well as an option for that clean and jerk. So again, from the floor back and just up tall, you clean it up, set, dip, and jerk it up, or again, push press it up. You're gonna do 20 reps on one side, then you're gonna pass over to the opposite hand, do 20 on the opposite hand. See if you can challenge yourself. You see, snatches are easy for you, try clean and jerks. They'll be more broken up, but it will challenge more your grip since there's going to be more stopping points of that weight. So see if you guys can try that as well today. 20 per side there, guys, and then again, remember, you want to keep it unbroken every single time. Enjoy the afterburner, guys. We'll see you tomorrow for the next workout.